It's the eve of the opening ceremony of the Commonwealth Games, and the Queen's Baton is due to arrive in the host city of Birmingham. More than 5,000 athletes representing 72 nations and territories will compete in this year's Games, which feature the largest number of women and parasport athletes in its history. It will be the first multi-sport event to award more medals to women than men, and the first major multi-sport event that is carbon neutral. Let's just talk a bit now about the host city. Birmingham is located in the West Midlands region of England. It's very diverse, with large communities from the Commonwealth countries, including Pakistan. Well, someone who knows all about it is Ahmad Nawaz. Although he's now president of the Oxford Union, he's also a survivor of the army school terrorist attack that killed 144 children in Pakistan. He was flown for treatment to Birmingham, the same hospital that treated Malala Yousafzai after she was shot as a schoolgirl by the Taliban. And he remained and lived in the city. Thank you very much, Ahmed, for joining us here on the programme. Like I was saying, you know Birmingham very, very well. It became your adopted home.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much for having me as well. Um, yeah, since I moved to Birmingham after the attack for my treatment, this is the city where I got a new life. I started a new life. In Pakistan, there was a chance that I may not survive, that I might not live on. But I think coming to Birmingham for treatment and then living here afterwards, sort of getting into school, like getting used to the culture, the multicultural sort of environment of the city, it has become a city that I love. And seeing the Commonwealth Games here happen here, it's a really joyful moment, not just for myself, of course, but for the whole of the city.
Yeah, and just remind our audiences briefly why you moved to Birmingham from Pakistan. What actually happened to you?
Yes. So on in 2014 in December, our school, when I was 14, our school was attacked by the terrorist. In that attack, the terrorist mercilessly killed about 150 students, including teachers. Um, they also shot my brother Harris and killed him, and many of my friends. And in that very attack, I was also shot myself, which is the reason that I was brought to the UK. I was in Pakistan. The treatment wasn't quite possible. They said that they might have to amputate my arm, and it was there was a chance that I may not even survive initially. So that was the reason that the doctors thought that it'd be appropriate to send me to the UK, where there have been instances in the past where they've treated wounds like this. So I was sent by the government of Pakistan to the UK for treatment, and in Birmingham, in the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, um, my treatment continued, and it was just a new city, a very different sort of environment that I came to, but an environment that I started to love very soon.
Yeah, and you thrived in it because when you arrived there, you couldn't speak English. Now you're president of the Oxford Union, and you've done so well for yourself. But those opportunities came from that city for you.
Yes, absolutely. I think coming here without not being able to speak any English was one of the biggest challenges I faced coming to the UK. But I think the fact that the people were so welcoming since the beginning, the fact that there were people from many different cultures and people understood that it's okay to not be able to speak English. It's not everyone's first language. There are people from many different cultures. That was a very encouraging point, and I think that was a point in my life where it could have broken or made me. And I think it turned out to make us into better people because people were so supportive of everything. They were understanding of our situation. They were understanding of the whole sort of like straight for around different for different people. So I think that was sort of like a moment in my life where I realized that okay, that life is not over. Of course, there is so much more to be done and so much more to achieve. That was the very reason when I started my anti-radicalization campaign. My first focus was Birmingham to make sure that I give back to the people of Birmingham. Of course, first and foremost, the city where I've started a new life, a city which has given me so much. Um, and yeah, that enabled me to move forward, to get an admission into Oxford afterwards, and now into the Oxford Union. I think it's an incredible honor for me to be able to be here in this position.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think it's the understanding of people of different cultures is what made it a lot easier.
Yeah, and you've done incredibly well, Ahmed. Thank you so much for joining us here on the program. That's Ahmed Nawaz talking about Birmingham, which is currently about to host the Commonwealth Games.